Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study microeconomics for class 12 NCERT book and chapter 2. We are having the second part in this, preferences of the consumer, right? So earlier we had seen various bundles which the consumer prefers. So now we will see what are the preferences. It is assumed that a customer makes choice for a particular bundle depending upon his or her preferences, choices, right? It is also assumed that the consumer can choose between various bundles. What are the bundles he or she will choose? It is also assumed that a consumer can rank the bundles. Which ranking? She is giving the first ranking, second ranking, third ranking, right? This is also assumed. So now, what we need to do, these are the things which are assumed before we go ahead. So, before making a choice, the customer could choose one bundle over the other bundle. And if there are more bundles, it could happen that the customer chooses A or B or is indifferent to both A and B. Right? We had talked about various bundles. So either prefers A or B or is indifferent to A and B. Right? Then let us take an example. Suppose a consumer prefers a bundle 2-2. What is 2-2? 2 units of good 1 and 2 units of good 2. Right? In this case, the consumer, what will happen? The consumer will be indifferent to 3-1, 1-3. The consumer will be indifferent to 1-3 and 3-1. Right? And then most preferred bundle is this, right? And indifferent to 3-1 and 1-3. So what happens? What the consumer will do, she prefers both these bundles over all other bundles except this one. Right? One situation is this, second situation is this. The most preferred bundle is 2-2. 2 units of good 1, 2 units of good 2. Right? At this, the consumer is indifferent to the 3-1, 1-3 bundles. And she may prefer these bundles as compared to all other bundles except 2 and 2. This bundle. Right? Same way, next one is 2-1 and 1-2. So at this stage, we come, so here the consumer will be indifferent to 2-1 and 1-2, right? And the consumer may prefer not to have all other bundles except 3-1, 1-3. Same way here. So if we make it very precise, it becomes like this. 2-2 is the most preferred bundle. Next, 3-1, 1-3, the consumer is indifferent here. Right? Indifferent. But she prefers both these bundles to all other bundles except this 2 and 2. Right? When we go to this stage, she is indifferent to 2-1 and 1-2, but she prefers both these bundles over all other bundles except this and this. Right? Then the consumer is indifferent to a bundle which is having 0, 0 of both the commodities, right? Or which has only one of the goods as positive, as compared to those bundles which have got positive units of both the goods, right? So, if we make a ranking of bundles, it will become more clear, right? Let us prepare a ranking of bundles. We have talked the consumer is able to rank the bundles. So, this is the bundle and this is the ranking given by the consumer. So, most preferred bundle is 2, 2, right? First ranking. Then 3, 1 and 1, 3. Second ranking, right? Then 2, 1 and 1, 2. Third ranking. Then 1, 1. Fourth ranking. And then all other bundles like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, right? 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, then 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0 and 4, 0, right? Fifth, most preferred bundle is 2, 2. Second ranking is given to 3, 1 and 1, 3. Third ranking is given to 2, 1 and 1, 2. Fourth is given to 1, 1 and all other bundles fifth. So in the fifth you will find either the bundle is having both goods as 0 or one of the goods is 0, right? So it has been given fifth ranking, right? So the consumer is able to rank the bundles that C chooses from, okay? Then we go to monotonic preference. So what is monotonic preference? We will try to make it very simple. Suppose there are two bundles, right? One bundle is x1, x2 and the other bundle is y1, y2. So if a consumer is having a monotonic preference, what will the consumer do? Which bundle the consumer will choose? The consumer will prefer that bundle in which she gets at least some more of one good and no less of the other, right? So if you can remember this, at least some more of one good and no less of the other. This is a monotonic preference, right? The consumer will prefer that bundle in which she gets at least more of one good and no less of the other, right? So that is monotonic preference in the simplest words. Once again, if there are two bundles, the consumer will prefer that bundle in which she gets at least some more of one good and no less of the other. So if that bundle is x1, x2, she will prefer that bundle. If that bundle is y1, y2, she will prefer that bundle. Right? Now we move ahead to substitution between goods. So what is substitution between goods? It's very simple. Suppose I am having x1, x2, right, and x1 plus delta x1, x2 plus delta x2. So what happens here? Suppose I have got two goods. So if I am willing to get more of good one, I need to give up some of good two, right? That's the way I can substitute one good for the other. So substitution between goods. So here, if I am having x1, x2 and I need to substitute, here what happens? This one, if delta x1 is more than 0, it naturally means that delta x2 is less than 0, or the other way around. If delta x1 is less than 0, then delta x2 is more than 0, right? So the consumer needs to sacrifice good 2 for acquiring good 1. That's called substitution of goods. And how is the rate of substitution calculated? Suppose consumer is willing to sacrifice 1 unit of good 2 for 1 unit of good 1. So what is the ratio of substitution, rate of substitution? 1 upon 1 is equal to 1, right? If the consumer is willing to give up 1 unit of good 2 for getting 1 unit of good 1, the rate of substitution is 1, right? Then next we go to diminishing rate of substitution. Why does it happen? What happens? The more we have good 1, the less unit of good 2 we are willing to sacrifice for getting a unit of good 1. Suppose today's position, right? I am willing to sacrifice 1 unit of good 2 for taking 1 unit of good 1. Gradually, I keep on getting more of good 1. So I happen to have more of good 1. So the more I have of good 1, units of good 1, the less willing I will be to give up good 2 for getting good 1, right? That is called diminishing rate of substitution, right? See, it's very simple. Suppose I am having two commodities X and Y, right? So initially I am willing to give up 1 unit of X for getting 1 unit of Y. Over a period of time I have more of Y. So what happens? I am willing to sacrifice less of X for obtaining Y, because I have already more of Y, right? That is called diminishing rate of substitution. Then we go to indifference curve. What is the indifference curve? It is very simple. Whatever bundles towards which the consumer is indifferent, if we plot that on a diagram, we get the indifference curve, right? This is O, this is good 1 and this is good 2. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we had taken 3, 1 and 1, 3. 3, 1 means 3 units of good 1 and 1 unit of good 2. So it comes here 3, 1, right? We had seen there that the consumer was indifferent to 3, 1 and 1, 3. So 3, 1 means 3 units of good 1 and 1 unit of good 2, right? Here. Then 1, 3, 1 unit of good 1 and 3 units of good 2. This is it, right? So if you do it like this, it goes like this. This is the indifference curve. As simple as that, right? Let us see another example. Indifference curve. O, good 1, good 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let us take 1, 2 and 2, 1. This is 3, 1, 1, 3. Let us say 1, 2 and 2, 1. 2, 1. What do we mean by 2, 1? 2 units of good 1 and 1 unit of good 2. 2, 1. Now 1, 2. 1 unit of good 1 and 2 units of good 2. Here it is. So if we join the points, it becomes an indifference curve. Simple. Whatever bundles the consumer is indifferent towards, if we plot those bundles on a diagram, we get indifference curve, right? So when you see this curve, so what do we do with this? It shows, this curve will show the rate of substitution also, right? It will show the rate of substitution also, at what rate the consumer is willing to forego units of good 2 for getting units of good 1, right? So this is indifference curve. And same way, indifference map. Suppose you plot another one, still another one. So what happens? This is a family of indifference curves. 1, 2, 3, or you take 4, right? This is a family of indifference curves or indifference map. So it goes like this. So what happens? You plot any point on these indifference curves. What do you get? The higher the indifference curve, the consumer is able to get more of at least one good and same of the other, right? So a consumer who is at this indifference curve, another one at this indifference curve, here as compared to this one, the consumer will be getting at least something more of one good and no less of the other. Same way, as compared to this indifference curve, the consumer on this indifference curve will be getting something more of one good and no less of the other as compared to this one. And same way for this, right? Why does it happen? You take a simple example, very simple. You do it like this. Do it like this, right? Here the consumer is getting 1 unit of good 2, 3 units of good 2 and 1 unit of good 1. Here the consumer is getting equal amount of good 2 but more of good 1. Here the consumer is getting equal amount of good 2 but further more of good 1. Same way for this. So this is the indifference curve. If you understand this, it becomes very easy. For indifference curve is nothing, it is plotting of bundles towards which the consumer is indifferent and plotting on a diagram, right? Then let us see this one also. Oh, good one, good two. What happens here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Suppose here is an indifference curve. And this point is A, this is B. A, B. I take a hypothetical example of C. C goes like this. So here you will find, as compared to A, C has got same amount of good 2 but more amounts of good 1. As compared to B, C has got same amount of, as compared to B, C has got same amount of good 1 but more of good 2. So, any point above the indifference curve, right? This is the indifference curve and this is above the indifference curve. A consumer is better off, the consumer will prefer. Those are favorable bundles as compared to indifference curve, bundles on the indifference curve. Same way, if you come below this, suppose this is D, so this is unfavorable bundle, because here the consumer will get at least less of one good and maybe same of the other. At least less of one good, so this is a favorable bundle, this is unfavorable bundle vis-a-vis indifference curve, right? Then indifference map we have discussed. Then we will discuss utility. What is utility? It's very simple. Suppose we had discussed that, what was that? Ranking and bundle. There was a bundle and ranking. So here we will discuss utility. Bundle. These are the bundles which we had discussed. 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, and here all other bundles, right? All other bundles. So, in the initial stage only we had discussed the consumer is able to rank, and consumer can rank the goods as per the utility of the good to me. Suppose I am the consumer, I have got certain goods. I can definitely rank them as per their utility. So suppose representative utility, I give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here I will write all other bundles so that you are not confused, right? This is utility. So we need not worry about utility representative, because if I write this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I have given higher number of utility representative 5 to 2, 2, because this is my most preferred bundle. Second could be 3, 1, 1, 3, so I have given 4. Third could be 2, 1, 1, 2, I have given 3. Same way 2 and 1. In lieu of that, I could very well have given 40, 35, 28, 20, 10. Right? It doesn't make much difference. It's only these numbers represent what utility a particular bundle has for a particular consumer. Right? 2, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, same way. 40, 35, 28, 20, 10, right? So it is only a representative of what utility something has for a customer. So what did we discuss? We discussed preferences of the consumer. What are the assumptions? That a consumer makes preferences depending upon her choice, her taste, her preferences. We also assumed that the consumer can differentiate between bundles, and if there are two bundles, the consumer may prefer one over the other or may prefer second over the first. We also assumed that the consumer can do the ranking of certain bundles available to her, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or whatever, 40, 35, 28, 20, 10, right, like that, rank, or first ranking, second ranking, third ranking, fourth ranking, fifth ranking. The most preferred bundle we saw 2, 2. Next, the consumer was indifferent at 3, 1 and 1, 3, right, and could prefer that bundle excluding all others rather than all others. Let us see that. See, most preferred bundle is 2, 2. She is indifferent to 3, 1 and 1, 3. She prefers both these bundles. Which bundles? 3, 1 and 1, 3 bundles compared to any other bundle in the group except 2, 2. When we go down there, we go to 2, 1 and 1, 2. She is indifferent to 2, 1 and 1, 2. She prefers both these bundles. She prefers both these bundles compared to all other bundles excluding 2, 2 and 3, 1, 1, 3, right? Because their ranking is higher in the customers. This thing. The consumer is indifferent to any bundle which has got 0 of both the goods or 0 of one good, right? Indifferent to any bundle which has only one of the goods and the bundle 0, 0. A bundle having positive amounts of both goods is preferred over the bundle in which there is only one positive amount, right? Then we discuss ranking of the bundles. 2, 2 we had given first ranking, 3, 1, 1, 3 we had given second ranking, 2, 1, 1, 2 we had given third ranking, right? 1, 1 we had given fourth ranking, and all other bundles which were either 0, 0 or at least one of the goods was 0, they were classified as fifth ranking. Then we discussed monotonic preferences. What is the monotonic preference? If a consumer is having two bundles, the consumer will prefer that bundle in which she gets at least somewhat more of one good and no less of the other. It's very simple, right? The consumer prefers a bundle in which she gets some more of at least one good and no less of the other. That is monotonic preference in the simplest language. Then we went to substitution between the goods. Suppose I am consuming two goods, my bundle is of two goods. So in order that I acquire more of good 1, I need to give up good 2. So what is the rate at which I am willing to get 1 by giving up 2? That is called rate of substitution. Suppose we are at 1, 2 and 2, 1. 1, 2. So here what is happening? The consumer is willing to sacrifice 1 unit of good 2, 1 unit of good 2 for getting 1, 2 and 2, 1. The consumer is willing to sacrifice 1 unit of good 2 for getting 1 unit of good 1. So the rate of substitution is 1 upon 1 is equal to 1, right? rate of substitution. Diminishing rate of substitution. The more we have of quantities of good one, the less willing we are to sacrifice 1 unit of good 2. Right? Initially, we may be willing to sacrifice more of good 2 for getting good 1, but as we have more and more of good 1, we are less willing to sacrifice good 2 for getting the same amount of good 1. Suppose earlier we were willing to give up 1 unit of good 2 for getting 1 unit of good 1. So as we keep on getting more of good 1, we become less willing to sacrifice 1, or we are ready to sacrifice less than 1 for getting 1 unit of good 1. Right? So that is called diminishing rate of substitution. Indifference curve we have discussed. Whatever indifference bundles are there, if we plot them on a diagram, then we get indifference curve. Right? Indifference curve. Suppose that is 3, 1, 1, 3. We can do that. So here we will find 3, 1. Here we have done. So indifference curve, whatever bundles we represent on the diagram. Right? And indifference map, we have seen family of indifference curves 1, 2, 3, 4. The higher the indifference curve, the more the customer will prefer that, because the higher we go, we find that the customer is able to get at least some more of one good and no less of the other. So the consumer prefers higher indifference curves in the indifference on the indifference map, right? And then we discussed superior bundles, preferred bundles, inferior bundles, right? And then we discussed shape of the indifference curve is convex, right? And negative, because for getting 1 unit of good 1, we need to give up 1 unit of or more or less. For getting more unit of good 1, we have to give up some units of good 2. So the slope of the indifference curve is negative, right? And it is convex towards the origin. Because why is it that? Why is the indifference curve convex towards the origin? Because of